Massad Boulos flew into Libya in July wearing two hats. Officially, he was the State Department's senior Africa advisor. Unofficially, he was also the father-in-law of Tiffany Trump, the daughter of President Trump, a family tie so notable that Libyan insiders had begun calling him Abu Tiffany, Arabic for Tiffany's father. As Boulos shook hands with executives and pledged to boost Libyan oil production, Tiffany and her husband Michael Boulos were photographed gliding along the French Riviera on one of the world's most opulent superyachts. The vessel, Phoenix 2, belongs to billionaire oil traders Ercument and Ruya Bayegan, whose company, BGN International, profits directly from Libyan crude. The yacht itself is a spectacle: 2 helipads, a swimming pool, and a towering bronze phoenix on the bow. When it was last available to charter, the weekly rate exceeded $1.4 million, with listings touting its Art Deco interiors and a custom Steinway piano. For the Boulos-Trump family, it was a floating playground. For critics, it was a flashing red light on conflicts of interest. Boulos has become the public face of Trump's Africa strategy, one that openly favors business deals over the traditional diplomatic playbook. His relative's presence aboard a billionaire's yacht underscored just how blurred the lines have become between diplomacy and family privilege. Inside Washington, concerns over Boulos's freewheeling approach have grown. Officials point to diplomatic flare-ups in Lebanon, Congo, and elsewhere, where he bypassed normal channels, pushed his preferred candidates, or requested meetings without clearance. Several senior figures have warned him to avoid even the perception of mixing Trump family interests with statecraft, especially as Michael Boulos, by his own admission to acquaintances, explores business in Africa. Neither Tiffany nor Michael Boulos hold office. Still, weeks after stepping off the yacht, they stepped aboard Air Force One, joining the president on a state visit to Britain and even appearing among dignitaries at Windsor Castle. Michael entered the state dinner arm in arm with Catherine, Princess of Wales. A striking scene for someone whose family ties, not public service, secured him a place at the table. Legally, nothing stops a diplomat's relatives from vacationing on yachts owned by executives who stand to gain from U.S. policy. But the optics clash sharply with Trump's years of hammering Hunter Biden for trading on proximity to power. And the contrast has not gone unnoticed. While Trump once promised to drain the swamp, his own family and close advisors' children are now entangled in lucrative business dealings with foreign governments. Neither Massad Boulos nor Tiffany and Michael offered explanations beyond calling the trip personal and private. BGN insisted Ruya Bayegan wasn't on board and dismissed inquiries about yacht guests as irrelevant. The State Department stayed silent on whether it had known about the vacation, instead forwarding prepared statements praising Boulos's diplomatic record. Yet inside the administration, Boulos's position remains unusual. No Senate confirmation, no obligation to disclose finances, and no clear chain of command. To many officials, that makes him difficult to rein in. To Trump, however, he has become indispensable. Secretary of State Marco Rubio even labeled him a superstar for brokering a fragile peace deal between Rwanda and Congo. Interviews with dozens of diplomats, foreign officials, and business leaders suggest a more complicated reality. Early on, Boulos alarmed colleagues by freelancing with Lebanese officials outside embassy channels. In Morocco, his comments implied that Trump's carefully negotiated normalization deal with Israel might be up for renegotiation, a misstep that forced quiet damage control. Despite these controversies, Boulos has pressed forward. His biggest claimed success, helping secure the Rwanda-Congo mining agreement, has stalled amid accusations that he sidelined existing deals in favor of his own arrangements. In Libya, meanwhile, his opaque dinner with the Prime Minister's nephew and a proposal involving billions in frozen assets triggered alarm from Western diplomats. Layered over all of this is Michael Boulos's whispered interest in Libyan oil ventures. Prominent businessman Basit Igtet warned that Libya deserves better than a broker like Boulos, calling the situation dangerously unstable. Adding intrigue, Tiffany and her family were later seen not only aboard Phoenix 2, but also the Magna Graecia, a yacht owned by Greek billionaire Ioannis Papalekas, whose empire spans energy and luxury estates. Social media posts placed them at his island retreat, Le Grand Jardin, once home to Louis XIV and available to rent for nearly $300,000 a week. Digital ship tracking data and Instagram evidence showed Tiffany and Michael aboard the Phoenix 2 from mid to late July, overlapping almost exactly with Boulos's Libya mission. For critics, the timing encapsulated the problem. US diplomacy and Trump family privilege intertwined at sea, blurring the boundaries between statecraft and self-interest in a way that even Trump's allies find hard to defend.